April has kicked off incredibly intense, massive earthquake, one of the biggest earthquakes of the year. And on top of that, of course, we've had so much solar activity that we need to break down. There is a lot of things happening right now. And with the Artemis 2 launch, I think a lot of people did not feel great around that time period. Some people are definitely talking about some spiritual attacks and things of that nature. We have a lot of things to get into. Joe Sky back at it again with another update for you guys. So, first things first, taking a look at the Schumann resonance April 2nd. Um, Pretty calm. We got really calm graph, but overall, just a little bit of these lines that are coming in. Blue, super calm. Green, moderate. Nothing intense here. All the numbers are very low. As you can see, super low numbers. Everything's really calm right now with the Schumann resonance. If you didn't know, on the what was it, the 30 March 30, there was a blackout. Here's where things get wild. Density has shot up. We do have 444 kilometers per second solar winds. Pretty interesting number. Density was in the red territory, 75. That's insane. We have had significant shoot ups in density. We got moderate storm conditions. We are in a G1 geomagnetic storm. KP index is a 5. That's due to the corona hole I talked about. That's what's going on. We got a lot of solar wind slamming the earth from that corona hole. Solar flares, believe it or not, we haven't had anything significant since the X class, which is our 72-hour max. Look at all the C classes we've been getting near an M, by the way. So these are, nothing too intense, but yet again, there's still, there's still something there. So we've been getting punched with a bunch of C class solar flares. Look at our sunspot regions. A lot of sunspot regions. This is expanding. This has grown. We got to break them down quickly. So overall, this one's got 590, but it's on far right. Same thing far right. They all have like more than one sunspot. 8 sunspots here. 60. This is the one that's been going wild. Has grown in size from yesterday. 11 sunspots instead of 8. Not much here. Not much here. This has 8 sunspots, so this one is definitely grabbing my attention as well. And now we finally have a solid image of the corona holes. After all this time, we finally have some images that I can simply click on, like my favorite 211. Look at how deep that corona hole was. Massive. That is no longer facing us or in an Earth facing position. It was never registered as a transequatorial, but still brought a lot of solar wind that slammed Earth, and that's causing, that's that density that's getting picked up on the charts. That's the magnetic field was getting blasted on April 1st. A lot of solar wind, geomagnetic storm. Look at what's going on the top right now. I checked it out 30 minutes ago. I thought it was something was wrong with it. On the top, super duper dark on the top. Even on the bottom, we got something going on. April 2nd, by the way. A huge corona hole on top. I don't think it's going to get registered as a transequatorial. Maybe northern hemisphere transequatorial. Huge corona hole. That might bring solar wind density, but it's really north. I don't know. Huge corona hole. Okay, at this image, there's something going on the left side. That's for sure. Might be something going on over here, but yeah, we have so many sunspots that are facing us. And the monster earthquake. Now, this is pretty wild, by the way. So, here's where things got pretty wild. It's a 7.4 earthquake right by Indonesia. There was also a 6.0 in Peru and a 5.7 in the Fiji region. There were some follow-ups, fives, a bunch of fives, which is insane. All right, so let's talk about this. So, around 6 p.m. or so Eastern Time in America, New York time, there was the Artemis 2 launch. I think a lot of people did not feel that great, and all of a sudden, this monstrous earthquake happened. It was a 7.8, and then it dropped down to a 7.4 because eventually, sometimes it messes up and whatnot. By the time it updates, it usually does that. Like sometimes it registers a higher number. So, huge earthquake. There was a tsunami warning in that area. But boy, oh boy, just around that time, a lot of people reported not feeling great around that time. Um, Trust me, that was a period where a lot of people just did not feel good. So very interesting, you know. Artemis 2 launched, biggest earthquake of the year, almost biggest earthquake, at least one of them, right? Um, and of course, a lot of people just did not feel good. I felt great the whole day. Then all of a sudden, just something weird happened. Really weird. People are talking about psychic attacks and things like that. Yeah, I don't know. Pretty wild. Let me know how you guys felt around 6 p.m. New York time on April 1st. 3 p.m. if you're in California. 5 p.m. if you're in Chicago. And around 11 p.m. if you're in Portugal. So let me know. Let me know. But overall, look at these earthquakes. Huge. Huge earthquakes. Let's take a look at what's been going on the last 30. Well, actually, first, let's break this one down more. Look at the aftershocks, man. Unbelievable. Look at the amount of earthquakes they had. And look at the largest. Yes, a 6.0 in Peru, 7.04 here. Then they got followed up with 5.5, 5.4, 5.2. Unbelievable. Yeah, that's still kind of close. So, unbelievable. They were getting hit with so many earthquakes. A bunch of fives, at least three of them. Fiji, Peru. Peru got just smacked with a 6. Yeah, guys, earthquake activity has been wild. Let's just look at the last 7 days. A 7.4, 7.3, 6.5, and a 6, and a 5.9. Right? Pretty massive for 7 days. Look at the last 30 days. A 7.5 in the Tonga. That was March 24th. That was like 8 days ago, I think. Right? 7.4, 7.3, and Vanuatu in this area. Man, these places get smashed by earthquakes. 6.6, 6.665, 6.4, 6.3. This is wild. And Louisiana got hit by a 4.9. Greece with a 5.5. Chile 6.3. What about that other place? It was wasn't it Italy? Italy got hit by something pretty big too. No. Huge. Look, these are massive earthquakes, man. These are huge. So we have been having some serious earthquake activity. The last 30 days having, there's a lot of 6s, but I don't see them apparently. Should be. Maybe we skip. Maybe. No, remember March? Do you guys remember March? There was a lot of 6s. So I don't know. There was a lot more. Yeah, there was a lot. There should be a lot more earthquakes. I don't know. I could be wrong. But I'm so thankful for everyone who's been watching. Thank you guys so much. A lot of earthquakes, a lot of data, a lot of things going on. Take it easy. Thank you all so much. Like and subscribe.